going to show how to make a puppy out of yarn. And all you need is some yarn, 3 beads, a tiny little piece of red felt, maybe some ribbon for the collar, that depends on you, and 1 toilet paper roll, which you can reinforce with some duct tape or not. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. I'm going to do is make the parts. So you'll need 4 bundles for the legs, 2 of which will be slightly thinner than the other. So you'll have 2 legs in the front like this, and then you'll have 2 legs that'll go on the side like that, and corner tuck around to the front like that. And then you'll have a bundle for the tail. And then you're going to have a bundle for the top that goes across the top, that'll be the ears. And then you'll have a bundle that'll go from the front, that'll create a part of the face and a part of the top knot. And then you'll have a little bundle for the palm that'll be the very top notch of the head. So altogether you will need 4 for the legs, 1 for the tail, so that's 5, 1 for the top for the ears, that's 6, and 1 that goes across that way. So 7 bundles altogether. Of course, you know, in your top notch. And then the beads, and I'll show you how to make the part. Now, for the legs, you just wrap around about the middle of your fingers, like so. You don't want it to be too big. You don't want it to be too tight. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, put it together, and 8, 9, and 10. And that should be sufficient. Now for each of these bundles, you're going to take 1 string. What I do is go around in the middle. So you're going to tie it so that you keep the bundle together. And then you're going to take this bundle like so. Okay. Don't worry about that loose part because you're going to trim these. These loops will be tied. Whoop. I didn't exactly want to do that. Okay. So then you'll have a second string that you're going to take around both sides. You're going to take it around the middle like so. Okay. And secure it as such. Okay. So now you want to pull this down just a little bit, just a tiny little bit. So this is going to be the foot. You're only going to trim 1, pick which side that you want to be the bottom. There's a hair in there, the foot. This is slightly shorter, so we're going to make that the foot. Just trim it a little bit. Okay. And then you're going to trim any loose things here. Don't cut that. You want all these to be looped, so anything that's like stray like that, just move that down. No worries, because it's going to be glued down. Make sure all these loops are cut. Okay, so this is going to be your leg. This is going to be in the front. You're going to glue that in the front. So you're going to make one to match this size. So this will be the thin one, and the ones on the side will be slightly thicker. Okay, so this is the tail, and these are the 2 side legs, which is about the same width and thickness as the tail is going to be. And then the 2 front legs, as you can see, are slightly thinner. So I wrap this 10 times around my fingers, depending on the size of your hand, and then I wrap these 14 times. So now I'm going to make the flap for the top of the head. Now to make this slightly different, I don't like wrap them around the finger. That's not how I do it. So to make the flap for the ears, what I do is I just take this, and you can measure it if you want to. So if you want a specific even width, so you just size it up. You want the ears to come about down to here. Not, see, this is the halfway mark, not maybe about inch, a little past an inch on the side. You just want it to be even. So you're going to take and make a bundle of yarn, just folding like so. And it's going to lay pretty nice and flat on top once you get, this will be completely wrapped in yarn, which I'll show that part here in just a little bit. And you can count how many, or you can just do it by just looking at it. And it depends on the thickness of the ears that you want. So that should be close to enough, because it's going to kind of lay flat. So I would say just a little bit more. So I folded 20 times, and 20 is plenty, unless you want bigger, thicker ears. Okay, and you're going to take and tie that in the middle, and we're going to set that to the side. Okay, then for the top notch, what this will do is it'll go down the front, it'll poof in that, kind of give it the face, and you'll have a little bit of a top notch. And then this will separate, split out to be the whiskers. So I would say probably do the same amount, about 20. And then you're going to tie it, and it'll be 3 parts. So you'll tie it here, and you'll tie it here, so that you'll have 3 parts. Okay, so you got approximately about 24, 25 folds here in this bundle. So then we'll just take and make 3 sections out of it by tying this end here. This is actually going to be the whiskers on the front. One side will be the whiskers, the other side will be the top notch. Okay, this will be the face. I'm going to try to make it even. Don't need to do that. Okay, so that'll like poof out like that to be the face. So I'm going to take this and tie that right there. I'm going to have 3 parts. There you go. Okay. Now we're going to set that aside. And for the 8th part is going to be a very small palm. I'd probably 3 fingers. You don't really need to be very long. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now this 13, 14. Now this is going to be basically a little palm is what you're going to be creating here for the top notch. And I'll show you once I get the toilet paper roll assembled. So you just tie this here, and then you're going to tie it in the middle. Okay, so then you take this, just kind of make it nice and even right here in the middle. And take another piece of yarn, just tie it right down the middle. It's just going to be a little bitty palm. It's going to be the little boof on top of the puppy's head. And then you're going to basically create a little palm, literally. I'm going to set that aside for later. We'll work on that more later. Now we have all the parts ready. Now we're going to roll the toilet paper roll. And I'll go ahead and get my yarn unwound so I don't have to worry about holding it on there and winding. And you don't need to make it really thick. you know, you just need to cover all of the parts. So basically you're just going to go not real tight, because what you don't want is you don't want this. You can take this part and tape that in there just to keep the tail from running away. It doesn't have to be really snug. And you just kind of crisscross across and try to keep it nice and straight on the sides, and the only place it should be really overlapping is on the ends. But basically you're just going to wind around until you cover up all of the toilet paper roll. You don't need to have it on there really thick. You see what I mean about needing to have this all the way unrolled? So basically you just want to cover up the cardboard. And try to have it on there as neatly as possible. Okay, this is probably a little bit thicker than it even needs to be, but basically you just want it to be covering up all the cardboard, okay? And try to have it as flat on the end as possible. And then I'm going to snip that, and you can either just put a little glue there to keep that from unraveling, or I just did a little slip knot there, and that is where the little leg's going to go, and it'll cover that up. So now it's time to assemble the parts. Okay, time to assemble the parts. I'm going to put this leg right about here. I'm going to try to squinch it together. Careful, don't burn yourself. And kind of put a little bit in the middle. There's one leg. The other one. Okay. I think this hair's in here. Do the same here. Oh dear, I'm getting it all over my computer. Yeesh. And then a little bit in the middle. And anything not, you just want to make sure that the legs don't glue together. Okay. Alright, now you're going to take the side legs, you're going to put a little bit right here where that goes, and then a little bit right there for the front part of the foot. Watch. See, like so. So it kind of, just like a dog sitting on his front with his legs to the side. Now we're going to do the tail and the back. You're just going to put that tail right about there, and then just glue on the inside of the bundle just a little bit, so his tail's going to sit back like that. So as you can see, it's got his tail, and we're going to trim all that eventually when we get all the parts on. Now it's time to put the ears on. So you're going to size it up. You're going to trim it before you put the ears down. So you're going to cut these loops, okay? And then you're going to center it. So you just trim all these loops like so, because the ears, you want to make sure you got the trimming down before you glue it down. So you're going to size it up. Remember, this is the front. I'm going to kind of flatten it a little bit. Okay. And you want to trim that to make sure it's even on both sides. Remember, before you glue it. Now on the ears, you're going to glue them in layers. So you're going to have 2 layers. Go across here. That's a little much, a little more than I needed. Just flatten it And then you're going to take and put another little strip right across here. And then put this down. And do the same to the other side. Now the face. This is going to be your whiskers. Or the puppy's not whiskers, not your whiskers, but you're going to get all the loops cut. You're going to split it in half as evenly as possible. Okay? And then what you're going to do before you do that is you're going to take a slicker brush or a comb and very gently, very gently brush that out. Very gently to where it's foofy. Okay, got it nice and floofed. So now you're going to split it in half, like so. We're going to trim that once we get that on the face here. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to poof this little part out right here. Okay, and if you want the face to be a little bit bigger, then a lot of this is going to be trimmed. And so this is going to be, you're going to cut this first before you do that. Okay, so the little tongue's going to go right in here. So just poof that out, and you're going to put a spot right here and put that on first. Okay, and then you're going to put a spot right about here, the very top edge, for this boof part here. And then you want to kind of give it a little squinch right there, because that's going to be your face part where the eyes are going to go. Then you're going to put two eyes right here, and a nose right here, and a tongue right here. We'll trim all that up. Okay, now we're going to take this boof part right here. You're going to kind of lift that up, and you're going to merge that with this. You put that like little top notch there, that little palm. It's going to go right underneath that to have your little boof there. So I'm going to glue that spot right there. Ouch. Anyway, and so this is going to kind of merge with that. Kind of be all one. And you can make your boof on top bigger, smaller, however you want. It's your puppy. I kind of want it to merge together. And now all you got to do is put the eyes on. Okay, now I've added the eyes and the nose and the little tongue. And you can trim up everything to however you like. Got the ears on wrong. Well, that's okay. Looky. All right, we'll trim it up. And there's your little puppy dog. See the little tail in the back. I would probably make the ears just a little bit thicker than this right here. But it's puppy dog. Roof, roof. So here's the brown one I did, and here's the white one. Now, you could put a chain around here for a collar. Ta-da! So I created this little chain. Just put some glue back here, and a little glue to make like a little slip knot, like a little chain. Little leash, not a chain, leash. Basically, using this. The perfect little leash type ribbon, if you will. He's got a little leash. Ta-da! And then he's got the blue ribbon on his. Anyways, there's a tutorial. Tonight's my first night making these, but anyways, there's a tutorial. I'll put a link in the description to how to do this, if you would like to watch the original video. Thanks for watching.